A lot of times panels tend to start just with statistics, which I will give you. But I want to tell you just a little bit about what just happened and why I wasn't here on this last panel. So the reason why I was not on the first League of Superwomen panel is because I had to have emergency surgery. Emergency surgery meaning I went into the doctors for a headache and I came out having to have a total hysterectomy. Total hysterectomy, not just from fibroids, but I had a complete tumor that was the size of a human head. And I didn't know. I had no idea, right? Because we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives that we don't spend any attention to our health, right? And the only thing I paid attention to is the fact that I just had a headache. That was it. So I say that to say that I have my life, and that's my path. And we all, and please take that and what I just said and use it towards your life, that you have a life and you have a path. And it may change at any given time, and I need you to run with that and enjoy it and expect that it will be precious and things will happen. So now speaking of legacy, I look at it as my legacy has turned from biological to impactful. So I may not be able to bear children, but I'm able to impact at least one person. And I always say if I leave this earth impacting one person, then I've done my job. All right? So I just wanted to say that. And we have some great women again. And another phrase that's been used a lot lately is leaning forward unapologetically, right? So we all have been using that catchphrase. And I also say, I said on my social media right before I went into surgery, I said my business is my baby and my journey is my legacy. So, funny that Rendel asked me to moderate the legacy panel, right? This is just amazing. And I want to start with just a couple statistics and then I'll introduce the ladies. So, of course, yes, women are spectacular because we have the ability to do so much, right? There's so many different things and so many expectations that come to us, but we're able to kind of work in multifaceted ways, right? So a couple of statistics here. According to 2016 American Express Open Study on Women-Owned Businesses, there are an estimated 11.3 million women-owned businesses in the United States, employing nearly 9 million people and generating over 1.6 trillion in revenue, all right? Nearly 8 out of 10 of these women-owned firms launched since 2007 has been started by a woman of color. As of 2016, there's an estimate 1.9 million African-American women-owned firms, employing 376,500 workers and generating 51.4 billion in revenue. You guys hear these numbers here? African-American women-owned firms constitute 61% majority of African-American owned firms. Some interesting statistics, right? Well, let's get to some of these amazing women. So give me some energy here. This is my first time moderating. I need that energy. So, and especially to introduce these women, I'm intimidated. These women are absolutely amazing. We have first the chairman. Leslie Sawyer. She is chairman and CEO of Environmental Design International Incorporated, a Chicago-based civil and environmental engineering firm founded by her late sister, Deborah Sawyer. A member of the EDI Board of Directors since 1998, Ms. Sawyer assumed ownership of the firm and the role of chairman and chief executive officer in August 2016. Welcome, and we're going to let you have a few words, please, by all means.
Is this on?
No.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Rendel, for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here and talk to you this evening. I feel particularly honored and also humbled because I did not start the company. My baby sister, as you heard, did, Deborah Sawyer, back in 1991 when she was only 36 years old. And I was so very proud of her all through these years, as a matter of fact. And it was part of her design or her succession plan that I actually inherit and run the company when she was no longer with us, because when she received her diagnosis of ovarian cancer, she knew she was terminal and she had a very short time to be with us. You heard that EDI it's a Chicago-based firm, and we employ close to 70 environmental scientists, engineers, technicians, and that do many services in the area of environmental consulting, industrial hygiene, survey, CAD, and most recently we are civil engineering, and construction management and inspection. Most recently we're doing a lot more in the areas of transportation and working with the utility companies. We are a very diverse firm. We try to employ as many women and minorities as possible. I was just counting before I got up here. One of my staff, Adina, is with me this evening. She works in marketing, and I was thinking, okay, how many women do we have? How many minorities do we have? And it's tough to get a lot of female women who are engineers and minorities into the business. But in our top level management, we have myself, and then our president is an African American woman that I've known since she was a child, since we were both children, but I'm a lot older than she is. And then our HR director is an African American woman. Our person that is in our finance department, one of our finance department people, is African American woman. And then we have a younger woman that is starting out who's an environmental scientist. So we're very proud of her. And we work for both the public and private sector. We work a lot with Exelon companies, and so I mentioned the utilities, so People's Gas, ComEd, NICOR, and we actually, a year ago, opened up an office in Maryland, in Baltimore, Maryland. So we're getting that off the ground as well. We would like to expand on the East Coast. And that's, I guess, I know we don't have that long to talk about business, but that's well,
that's amazing, obviously. Obviously. So I'm actually going to just have you pass down the mic to Miss Charmaine, the Strength Finder. Charmaine is president and CEO of Uncle Remus Sauce Fried Chicken. Saucy, that's that right? Saucy Fried Chicken. She is the youngest of Gus Rickett, Sr., and Mary Rickett, and you're the youngest of 12 children. Wow. Rickett's first job in the family business was at the Rickett's Country Kitchen, where she worked closely to her mother, Mary. In 1996, Gus and Mary retired from the day-to-day operations and appointed Rickett manager of the Uncle Remus flagship store at, I hope I get a job as the commercial, 5611 West Madison. She was named president and CEO in 1999. Welcome, Charmaine, and give us a little bit about yourself.
So just overwhelmed to be here because, you know, just to be able to share and to tell my journey, because, you know, I am the youngest of 12, and yes, I am a legacy. I inherited the business, and a lot of people think, oh, she inherited the business, so she just had a windfall of money and no problems and just an easy path. And I just want everyone to know that although the path has been a little bumpy and a little smooth, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because entrepreneurship is something that we can, as an African American community, we can really begin to take a hold of our journey and our future, and just to be self-employed and to be able to employ others. I employ probably 50 or so employees, probably half of those are ex-offenders. Probably I'd probably say probably half to 75% of those are ex-offenders, and half of those have become my management staff. Right. So because I am a legacy in the business as far as family, but it is my obligation to build legacy for other families. And they are just my passion, and I have so many success stories from them, and I am just here to share. I'll tell you now, we're open, I'm transparent. I believe if I tell it, the devil can't tell it, so I'm not gonna let him shame. So my life is an open book, good, bad, ugly, cute, all of the above.
Well, especially cute. So. We have next up the cyclist. We have Tasha White. She's founder and CEO of Psych Mode. Is that correct? As a collegiate track and field athlete, Tasha possessed a competitive spirit and a winner's mindset on and off the track. Having this type of personality, it was fueled her quest for more in her fitness journey. Her pursuit of modern cycling workout was the birthing of, say it again?
Psych Mode.
Psych Mode. Psych Mode is the newest trend in cycling studios. They leverage the latest technology to bring competitors together in a common goal, to win and to leave their mark one ride at a time. Talk to us.
All right, thank you. How many of you guys like to have fun? You guys like to have fun? And with that, how many actually like to have fun by working out? Well, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Rendel, for having me here. Again, I'm very excited. Psych Mode, I will tell you, is a first of its kind. It's not a first of its kind in Chicago. It's a first of its kind in the world. We leverage technology to give you an immersive indoor cycling experience. And so you will not find it anywhere else. I call it the big girls, like the Soul Cycles and the Flyables. I don't want to call them out, but you won't find anything like what you're going to find right here in the South Loop on 13th and Wabash. So I look forward to telling you guys more about it, but that's, I'll share it as we go through our panel.
Oh, I definitely have questions.
Okay.
Definitely, tons of questions. And we have the aviator, Tamara Holmes. Wow. Tamara is president and CEO of Aerostar Consulting Corporation and co-founder of Aerostar Avion Institute. Tamara is the strong advocate of youth in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, cultural exposure, and career development advancements. Holmes has a cemented and impressive curriculum vitae and educational background in aviation. Please tell us more, Tamara.
Well, my name is Tamara. Thanks, Rendel, for having me here and having this panel. I think it's amazing. As a woman, an African-American female in a 95% white male-dominated industry is pretty interesting. So to be able to be around people that look like me, that come from where I come from, and can relate on a different level, on an intellectual level, on a tech level, is really important to me because throughout my career that was not an option. In college, I was one of only 2 African-American females in the aviation flight program in 4 years. That's 4 years, me and one other black girl in the aviation program at my university. These numbers have not changed in the last 20 years. They haven't changed in the last 50 years. The number of African-American female pilots flying for airlines is less than 1/2 of 1%. That's point. Y'all understand? That's point something. That's not even a percentage. The decimal point comes first. So starting Aerostar for me wasn't an accident. I actually worked with her sister Deb. We worked on a lot of projects at the airport. EDI was one of the only minority and woman-owned business contractors. They probably were the only one that I knew of working on the O'Hare expansion project when I was just starting out. And I was promoted really quickly through the company at 28 years old. I had a corner office with a view. Our annual household income was already 6 figures, my husband and I. And we had got married young. We had a house with 3/4 of an acre of land with a swimming pool in the backyard. And really, the only way to go was up. But I realized that our family was going to come first, our children were going to come first, and I saw so many women have to walk away from their careers because they had kids. And the men didn't have to do that. They weren't faced with the choice of, you know, the kids want mommy, and, you know, FaceTime didn't exist, so you didn't see your kid till you got off work. And it was just, it was an entire array and a really big opportunity for me to kind of look across the spectrum at what I was doing. And I did the minority and woman-owned business compliance reporting for the firm that I work for. We had a $10 million contract to work on O'Hare Midway and Gary Airport. And we had a really hard time finding minority and woman-owned businesses to meet those contract compliance goals. And one day I looked in the mirror and I said, look, I'm a woman, I'm a minority, I need a business enterprise. And literally, I decided to step out on faith and start Aerostar. And since then, the Aerostar Avion Institute is our not-for-profit arm. Our goal is to train up the next generation of aviation professionals from right here in our neighborhood, right in our backyard. We can get more into legacy and the history of aviation and aerospace in the Black community. And it's my priority, it's a top priority for me to continue the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen, Bessie Coleman, Janet Harmon Bragg, Cornelius Coffey, and all of those aviators that went before us that have been left out and intentionally erased from the history books.
I want to give kudos to Rendel for setting up panels like this because the energy is amazing. And as all of us up here are unicorns within our own field. And it's fun. I love to hear oohs and ahs of certain percentages of women in certain industries. But I think literally all of us are, we could probably name the exact percentage. I'm 0.09% of my entire industry as an African-American woman vintner. And that, I bet you everybody can name that probably under 1%. And what I say that to say in all of our respective fields, whether it's entrepreneurship or whether it's something that in a sector that doesn't look like us, I hope that gives energy for everyone here to do anything they want to do in this life, because it's too short.